The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters at Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today from the Lake Tahoe Basin area, beautiful Lake Tahoe. That would be on the California side. We have Kaili Sanchez. How are you, Kaili? I said it fast that time.
I am living the dream. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I'm living the dream here in the Lake Tahoe Basin, like you have shared, and it actually borders both Nevada and also California. So we've got a lot going on here.
Yeah, beautiful area. I mean, I for anyone who hasn't had the opportunity, and I think I had mentioned to you, I'd only been there one time. Beautiful area, though. I mean, it's kind of one of those must be seen, in my opinion. And California has a lot of that, and so definitely. So how did you get into real estate? Maybe even, how did you end up in the Lake Tahoe area in the first place?
Yeah. Well, I have always been drawn to the outdoors, and this is just basically an outdoor enthusiast dream, and I also feel that Tahoe area has so much rich family history and legacy here. This is the type of place that I find is similar for my story, but people come here from generation after generation after generation. It just has that type of richness to it.
Yeah.
And and then any type of thing that you really love to do outside, it gives everyone such a different opportunity. So some people really love winter. They want to hit all of our different ski resorts. We have tons of really large, really nice ski resorts here that are just a handful, 15 minutes apart type of a thing. So anyone that wants to kind of play in that arena, ski, snowboard, cross country. And then there's people who don't really feel like that's their joy. So we have the Ritz-Carlton, we have all these different types of villages where people can hang out. So it's kind of a landing spot for a lot of people that's really close to the Bay Area or other commuter areas here, that the whole family or the whole couple or everyone can kind of find something that really makes them feel good. And then during the summertime, it's like mountain biking. We have the two lakes, paddle boarding, all of those things, running are the things that make me feel really joyful and balanced inside. So that's really what drew me here. I had family who had a house in Olympic Valley, and I just grew up being in there. So they eventually remodeled it. And I was the little kid that they put on skis at 3 and just zoomed down the mountain, and my mom was like, "Oh my God, what's she doing?"
Right.
And that's just a little bit about my personality as well. Strap something on and let's go and have fun. And so I've always been drawn to the area, but I really thought I was more of a city girl. And so traveled around, went to school in New York, and then also in California, Berkeley, and worked there. And then I realized I kept going to go trail run and go to the beaches, and away from the city was all my free time. And so then I recognized that I just really love space. I love to have expansion around me. And so coming to Tahoe just felt like such a natural match. So here I am.
Yeah, the towns in that area are very I used to vacation in Breckenridge a lot, Colorado. And when I've been out your way, it reminded me of that. Now you may say, no, it's not, but in my opinion, the one-off that I've been there, definitely gave me that storybook town feeling. Is that what a lot of folks are looking for when they buy out there, or is it strictly that, like you said, that family place where everybody can go for and be together.
Well, just a little bit, kind of circling back what I was saying, there's so much there's a richness of history here. Like even that we had the Olympics in
Mhm.
Olympic Valley, there's this feeling of legacy,
Legacy,
and
that's the
like,
term, right? Yeah.
yeah, like the downtown area is very similar. That's where my office is. And, you just really get a feel of people that are here. They've lived here for a long time. They make the choice to live here. So very similar to Breckenridge.
Hmm.
It's not easy living in the mountains all the time,
Right.
right? And so, in order to make a conscious choice to live here, you kind of have that same group of people that are all it's very welcoming,
Right.
and people are very like heart-based here. So they love what they're doing. They're a part of the community, and you just get that vibration when you walk down the street down here.
Right.
I think that's what a lot of people do when they come to buy a house here or get their vacation house here. That's what they're coming to. So sometimes they don't know how to necessarily articulate it in words because it's so fun, it's so fun
Yeah.
here. But what keeps them here is that feeling. There's quiet, there's calmer, everything is kind of slowed down. We call it Tahoe time, and
Right.
it gives everyone a chance to actually take a deep breath and really kind
Nice.
of get into that place where they're connecting, they're having
Right.
those great conversations outside at the coffee shop, or they're really connecting to other people that are their neighbors, where at home they drive straight into the garage, shut the door, and unless, they're doing some activity after school or walking around, they don't really make that connection with their neighbors. Where here we moved into our house from kind of the Sacramento area, and we knew
Hmm.
all of our neighbors within like 30 minutes.
Oh,
They
wow.
came over, the kids were building jumps in the middle of the road. Like,
Yeah.
there was just a totally different feel of community. And I'd have to say, like, less fear. People are
Oh,
just kind of
yeah.
look out for each other. And
Yeah.
there's a place where, we all kind of like support each other. So
I'm gonna tell Sacramento you said that.
they'll agree because they come up here and
I
hang out. They're
know.
like,
Yeah.
oh, there's kids like
I,
riding around on their e-bikes. Like,
right.
what's happening? Yeah, yeah.
No. So, okay. So we talked about a little bit how how you got into the area and why you're in the area. I think that's even more important. And why the people that you help and consult with, buy in the area. So I guess the next question is, how are you finding those people? I mean, how do they find you? I guess that's the easiest way to put it. How are they finding you as opposed to anybody else?
Yeah. So I love to put on events. Every month I do happy hours for all my clients and highlight different businesses. I do a lot of open houses. And everything that pretty much at this point in my career, everything is very referral based, or somebody would come in and meet me in an event. Everyone kind of has that same feeling from me where they understand that I'm here to empower them. I'm a big resource. I've been here, like I was saying, 22 years. So I have
Right.
a wide variety of resources that just make people feel comfortable. And they also know that I'm just here for them. So when they walk in the door, they're not feeling pressure. They know that they're going to get support in understanding lending. They're going to understand the different neighborhoods. They're going to really have somebody who's really zeroed in on what are their needs and their timeline. Living in a place where everything is very second home a lot of time, or vacation, people have different timelines. Sometimes their vacation spot they want, right before the ski season starts. So we got to fast forward and make it happen. And
Right.
sometimes it's within the year, when it makes sense for them financially, or when they really have an opportunity to like look at the different areas and make sure that they're in alignment with what their true desires are. And that's
Right.
what I do. I'm just their
Okay.
consultant. I help them really kind of get to that place where they're like, okay, this is our goals and desires, and then we can match them. It's matchmaking,
You're the,
which is the great place for them.
you're the dream weaver, the dream maker. You
I
make their
am totally the
dreams
dream
come
weaver.
true. So let
It's
me,
pretty fun.
yeah,
I do.
I believe it. You're your excitement is exuding through the screen. I mean, I think that's fantastic. It doesn't sound like it's a chore at all for you. Um, I'm going to ask some, I guess I would call them not personal, but kind of off business. Are there a lot of, this is cheesy, but celebrities that live in the area? Is that a, a group that comes out there quite a bit looking for homes?
Absolutely. I mean, people that have a lot of wealth in their life, whether they're
Right.
business owners, CEOs, celebrities, they come in. We, especially having Lake Tahoe and lakefront homes that are just beautiful,
I saw
the
your
richness of
listings.
it.
Yeah, I saw. They are beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. They're gorgeous. And, people like to have their privacy.
Yeah.
People that are wealthy, we have a lot of gated communities. We have a lot of areas where people feel safe, kind of going back to that,
Right.
and can be anonymous if they want to, and around like-minded and like similar type of people. So I think we draw a lot of that. Plus we have, our own little local airport that people can fly
Right.
right into, and then their jets just stay there, or they come on and play on the lake with their
Yeah.
boats. So we do have a lot of that for sure.
Right. Yeah, beautiful. That's fantastic. I did see your listings. They are very nice. They're gorgeous. Very nice. Um, so I guess if
Yeah.
if I ask you, what is, if you could have a wish, right, and you could have one thing fixed, or if there was an issue, because you're so happy in doing what you're doing, it doesn't seem like there is, but if there's a problem that you needed solving in your business right now, what would that be, or is there one at all?
Um, there's two things that I'm really kind of thinking of. One is, because we're a smaller town, getting development through like multi-units
Mm-hmm.
is still a struggle right now.
Right.
I think like the big picture is like, it seems so beautiful and lovely, like, yes, let's make more
Right.
housing. But when it really drills down to it, there's a lot of either miscommunication or not synergy that I feel is really blocking progress, and
Oh.
what the true desire is, or
Mm-hmm.
what it sounds like desire is. So the amount of barriers that are put in place right now really make it difficult for anyone to build any type of multi-unit, and some of it to be affordable and some of it to be of market value. I mean, living in a resort, the land is expensive here.
Yeah.
There's not that much of it,
Right.
right? And then also the cost of materials in the last couple of years, although, lumber is coming down, thankfully, the cost of materials have just gone up so exponentially, but there's no real change in regulation to support that, in
Oh,
terms of
interesting.
what, the fair market housing and things like that, that would have to be able, in my mind, be. So I just found a lot of barriers around that for my clients that, want to do something like that, but it's just been a challenge.
Right.
And then kind of also the same thing that I feel like is a little bit, because we have a smaller area of land, and we are
Mm-hmm.
a resort area, our infrastructure, we're working on it, right? But we have a lot of people that moved to our area during the last couple of years, because they can work remote.
Right.
So we have a lot more people who are actually living here full time, or at least many more months out of the time than we were before. And so just really kind of making sure that we have a really succinct, planned community that makes sense. So we're not constantly like backtracking, like, oh, I wish we had more water.
Right.
Like in California, you have to be really aware of
Sure.
urban planning, and what we can support and what we can't support. We don't have a huge transit system. It's all building. But, living in a city or someplace like that, it's just kind of rock and roll. You just hop on the bus and go,
Right.
here we have to just be more mindful of it. So those are kind of the two challenges I feel like we're facing right now, like in our
Okay.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, I live in an area. I live in Southeast Florida, and so big tourism
Hmm.
area, and we definitely don't have the problem of enough support, people moving in who can work at the hotels and the restaurants. But it's a similar problem as you, not to that degree really, but it's really hard to there's no land left, and it's hard to build,
Hmm.
an infrastructure of homes for people who can afford to work and live in the same area. That's a difficulty we're having. I imagine you are
Hmm.
having that as well, because as you said, the price of land, is pretty
Yes.
high
Yeah.
in that area. So, but I do know waiters that make, 150,000 a year. So I don't know, maybe they can buy something there
Mhm.
and live in the area. So tell me about the future for you. What does that look like? Is there a master plan that you have, or where are you going from here?
Yeah. Well, I think you could tell, like, I love doing what I'm doing. I love
Mhm.
being that dream, maker and putting things together. So I really don't feel that I have any desire to do anything different other than really kind of going more into also a mentoring position, where I can really help other people who are getting into the industry,
Right.
coaching them on things that feel good for them, because I know when I'm in alignment with myself, then I'm able to really help a lot of people that I'm working with. And I think that's something that it took a lot of different little things to kind of put pieces together, and what I still do. So I get business coaching and I get personal development coaching all the time, just so I can continue to stay in alignment. And I feel like if I would have known that before, I've had a mentor that was in that same type of
Right.
position. I did have some great coaching right away, and it reminded or showed me how valuable that is, just to stay sane. Because
Right.
yeah, in this job, as you can work 24 hours a day and
Right.
then having a family, and how do you balance that? And then also still be a person, and so I really have that desire to pay it forward and like give some other people that opportunity to feel safe and ask questions or get mentorship, and not feel like they're so in their own little silo, which I think sometimes happens in this world,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah.
So, Kaili, if someone wanted to get in touch with you, how would they find you?
Yeah, so I'm easy phone number. I also have a website. Do you want me to share my phone number, or do you kind of put it?
No, we'll put it out for you, but
Okay.
definitely vocalize it, because the only people that are listening are the ones that may want to get in touch with you. Yeah, so go ahead and give that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, so my number is 530-386-2287. And my website's really easy. So Kaili Sanchez.com. And that's another easy way to just get in touch with me. You can start to look at all my listings. And just another thing is, just similar to what we're doing, I always do an interview together with both buyers and sellers, so we
Nice.
can all really have a good amount of foundation and time. So you can see if I'm the right fit for you, vice versa. And you can really understand the process that I do, that I find is really successful for both sides of the party. So everyone's really in good, clear communication. Like I said, I'm all about empowering people to make their best decision. And each person needs something a little bit differently,
Right.
So some people might need more phone calls. Some people might need more numbers. Some people might need more market data. Some people might need to know who their house cleaner is going to be. Sounds funny, but it's kind of true,
Yeah.
So,
Logistics,
that's what we get to
logistics are
do together.
everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. And what I always like to do is give our guest, it's your show. I'm just the DJ kind of, but I'd like to give you the last word. Anything that we didn't cover, or anything that is heavy on your heart that you want to share. Could be your favorite home listing down to your favorite dog shelter, whatever it might be. But the last couple of minutes are yours.
Yeah, well, thank you. I have to say, obviously being here for 22 years, I love, live, and breathe this area and the people that live here. And, for me, I feel that everyone that is a part of this and makes the choice to be here feels that. And that's what I love to do. Same thing, going back to the empowerment piece and finding what makes you feel joyful. And I feel like this place has so many opportunities for people to do that. Just even some of the listings that I was sharing with you, having a penthouse on the lake where you walk in the door and it's wall to wall windows of Lake Tahoe, your heart just stops.
Right.
Everything calms down. Everything feels like, okay, I can take a breath. I have a
Yeah.
moment. This is my joy. And so, that's what I love being a part of, is having those places where people can find, if they wanted that privacy, the gated places where they get to play golf and like go, they felt safe if they do have kids, to have them ride around on their bikes and be outside and feel just really kind of free. Or if they love to be in the middle of everything, it's
Yeah.
nice to have all these like great little downtown areas where people can just have that excitement and things like that around them. So, I think the main thing is I love it here and I love the people that move here and I love being a part of that.
That's wonderful. And Kaili, thank you so much for being on the program. I think your neighbors and the community is lucky to have you because you are so excited to be there. And
Yeah.
that's the big part of it. I think that's a recipe for success.
Oh, thank you. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate your time today and
Yeah.
getting the message out there about this beautiful place. And I'm going to reel you in one little step
I
at a
know.
time. We'll just
I'll
fly
be
you in on
there.
your private jet and I'll pick you up.
Well, that'd be great. No, that sounds fantastic. Let me get my calendar out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you again, maybe, 3, 6, 9 months down the road and see how things are going.
That sounds wonderful. You have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay.
Bye
Bye.
bye.